Move my face. Side to the left. Okay. 1 second. Let's see. Here's the link in the Discord. Should I post it on Twitter? Should just be following me and get a notification. Dun, 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 dun. We will quote tweet that. Give me just 1 second. Actually, no, I'll just post the link in the comments. There we go. Okay. Hello, good evening. All right, triple S, that's right. You know, it's funny, I've been called that my whole life, which is also funny because I didn't mean to do that in the Strat world, but it happened anyway. Happened naturally. 6, 7, Elaine. Okay, I want to talk about, let's first talk about the futures or the indices. Because that's important. What happened and why? If you know the Strat, you shouldn't have been surprised by what happened today. So the first thing, we're going to go look at the weekly charts first. So for ES, we had an inside week that broke to the upside. So our actionable signals heading into this week were inside week. Uh-oh. We're in, hold on, I gotta make a note. So our actionable signals were inside bars in the form of weekly inside bars. Okay, for ES and NQ. For RTY, we have nothing actionable unless we go 2 down on the week. For YM, we also had an inside week, but it hit magnitude on Tuesday. So that was important to know. I posted about it on Twitter. I posted about it to our premium members because that is where we are supposed to take profit. Okay, so what else do we see? We have a big 3 on ES and NQ and an inside bar. And the thing about inside bars is we know if they break to the upside and start coming back in, they can go 2 up, fail the 2 up, and become 3s. So we have to be mindful of that. Also, with these big weekly 3s, technically we have mother bar problems. We are still inside 2 weeks ago's range. So you can almost expect to see reversals. And if you see a reversal, you have to be ready to take action. So let's go back to the daily chart. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to replay mode. We're going to go to Sunday night. This was, well, technically Sunday night because they opened Sunday. Well, okay, Friday, and then we're just going to stick with Monday. And so we had this setup drawn out, and we had, Elaine even posted it on Twitter, that we had a domino setup, which is where we have a daily actionable signal or reversal that could trigger the weekly. So in this instance, we had a 2 down. What's the next 2? Closer to 2 up. So that's a 2 down, 2 up reversal that could trigger the inside week and up. Okay, that actually played out on Monday beautifully, which is what we wanted. We wanted the day to trigger the week. And then once the week triggered, we wanted to see the buyers stay there and go to new all-time highs. But we're going to play, I don't know how fast. I'm so bad at the replay. Okay, So what happened on Monday was we went 2 down, 2 up, triggered the week. So you're in from here. So you got an early entry of 49 points. So instead of just taking the weekly trigger, right, and targeting the new all-time high, that's only 45 points. But you got an extra 49 points by taking the daily trigger, potentially. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do that. So you got an extra 49 points, we'll call it, to try and get the 45 points from the weekly trigger to the weekly target. Okay, so Monday, all good. Nothing to worry about. Tuesday, 2 up continuation, but red. But still in force on the week and no reversal against you and nowhere near your entry because your entry, remember, was back here. So you're good. You can have your stop, break even or slightly above break even to give it a little space. Okay. But what happened today? Today, you got what? You got 2 up, 2 down reversals. What does that do? That negates or takes the weekly out of force. So the weekly inside and up is no longer in force, right? Because you have to be above that orange. You have to be above that orange line to be in force, right? So this is a clear reversal. And we had this broadening formation that we were drawing earlier in the week. And they started to fall back through it. And we did hit our target on the daily time frame for ES. Same exact setup happened on NQ, red 2 up, followed by a 2 down reversal, hit target, right? I'm going to show you something else that's really cool in a minute. We caught the bottom of the dump. For now, we'll see. I mean, we'll see where we open, but RTY had the same setup, 2 up, 2 down, hit T1, did not hit T2. And then YM, again, this is why we take profit at our target, especially if it's an all-time high, or most of your target take off at, most of your position take off at target. You can leave a runner till you get a daily reversal, which you did get today, but this is immediate exhaustion risk. And I bet if you go into the 60-minute, you'll see a 60-minute reversal somewhere up here in the wick, which that could have been where you trailed out. You could have stayed in and said, I'm going to hold the rest of my position until I get a 60-minute against or something like that. Okay, what I wanted to show you about today. 1 second. Okay, so I want to show you guys that here. I'm just going to bring this over. I want to show you guys this. So we know that the SPY target, or sorry, ES target, the daily target was 66.94. So we hit the daily target. So I said here, ES took out daily downside target, and now I am watching the 60-minute flip, which occurs in 15 minutes because the futures flip on the top of the hour. So this was at 2:43. Ugh, I don't have anything to drink. Damn it. This was at 2:43 Eastern. So the last hourly flip of the day was going to happen in 15 minutes. And I said, we're going to see if we can go back up a bit. Also, if you were buying calls at the bottom, I said to be mindful that Tesla has earnings after hours today. And we had a simultaneous break on ESNQ. I think the other two, I'm not positive. I wasn't watching those. I was just watching because I was on my phone, but I was just watching ES and NQ. But anyway, we had a simultaneous inside bar at downside exhaustion. So then I said, well, I, let people know it triggered. This is me showing that it's triggered. So check, it triggered. Alex said beautiful 60. And then I said ES hit target 1, NQ hit target 1 first. So we caught the exhaustion reversals down here. So I'll show you the 60. Oh, it looks like we had simultaneous inside 60s and up on all of the futures. So that is, a good thing. So here was the 60-minute entry, 60. Copy, paste, 60. Copy, paste, 60. Copy, yeah, paste, 60. So we had inside 60s at YM, much weaker. Came right back in, went outside bar. You would have had to have gotten out of that. But these are still good. I did buy some calls when this triggered, so we'll see what happens. Since all the higher time frames are green, from the year to the quarter to the month to the week, since all the higher time frames are green, I still would like us to go hit the all-time highs. So I'm kind of hoping that the overnight bulls can get up in here. So then tomorrow we can go 2 down, 2 up reversal and hit our all-time high targets. That would be ideal. Then I would love to look for a short back down through all this. So that's that. Let's then talk about gold and silver. Gold, we're going to start at the week. What is different about this week than previous weeks? Not rhetorical. While you guys answer that question, I'm going to go get water. Okay. Red, yes. The candle is red. The other thing is we have not been able to maintain above previous week's highs, and hence why it ended up turning red. But these triggered above previous week's highs and stayed up. Triggered above, stayed up, stayed up, stayed green, stayed up, stayed green, stayed up, stayed green, blah, 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 blah. I had mentioned, and this is something I don't talk about a lot or much or ever, but I was talking about the volume, the increase in volume. Some people use volume as sort of like a tell to short. I used to be in this other trading group and they used to call it a volume climax, but you can just tell that this candle is gigantic compared to the other ones. So it's like they put their last all they had into that weekly candle. Like, look at the size difference. It's huge. So what is the most likely scenario for gold? Well, the most likely scenario is for it to go outside week. And that occurred because of this 3, 2, 2. So 3, 2 up, 2 down on the combo sheet. Takes out target 1, and then we fall into a bit of a pivot machine gun where we take out all 3 of these targets, and then this is the target to go outside week. We just missed it today. I was on who was it? Stowe and Kane's live stream on Ninja Trader. And I was calling for 40.11 on gold. We just didn't get there today because we had an exhaustion reversal at the end of the day. I'll show you that. We had a beautiful 30-minute signal. This one. Inside 30 and down, which took out this magnitude, right? That's the magnitude to make a new low. And then it went inside, triple inside and up. So the broadening formation is like this right now. So the bias for gold is still down. Maybe we get some corrective activity on the daily tomorrow. Like maybe we go slight 2 up and then 3. Or maybe we just go 2 up on Thursday and then 2 down on Friday to get the outside week. Or the only other possibility, because there's only ever 3 possibilities, is inside day and down. Silver. The inside day triggered the first weekly reversal. Did not hit that pivot low yet, but I suspect it will. Okay. Ooh, let's look at beyond, because that is always fun. The pump and dumps. And this is why when you're trading anything like this, you gotta look left. Because if you're just like in the 5-minute chart, you're gonna have no idea why that level was very important and why to probably look for a reversal there. Okay. And this isn't hindsight, because when you're doing charts, the first thing you want to do is look at the higher time frames and mark your levels. So you can see this is a pivot high from September of 2024. So over a year ago. So I didn't just magically have this line here. I was looking left. Wow. It would have been really cool if they would have got all these guys. Ugh. But anyway, that is a major pivot high. So they took it out today. They gapped it up. Oh, I've got the open. Hold on. Open. So they open here. They run up. Boom. They hit that 760 target. Sorry, I was just thinking, I know somebody who bought the top on Beyond today. Okay. Anyway, so anyway, mark your levels. So this is a gapper, obviously. They closed here. They gapped up. Jesus, 70%. And then what happened? Where was the reversal? You go to the 5-minute chart. Right there, 3-2. Go to the 15-minute chart. Where's the reversal? Right there. 2 up, 2 down. All the way to this target. That's a pivot low. And then that's where the corrective activity and sideways happened. So it all makes sense when you go back and look at the charts, right? So go back and look at your charts. Yeah, it's been a hot topic of conversation, Elaine, the past couple of days. Pew, pew, pew. Let's talk about, yeah, I figured. Let's talk about the quantum space. God, what the hell are all those tickers? Q, UBTS. UBTS, pretty sure all-time high exhaustion reversal. Yep. So this is the first reversal in many weeks, right? So change in continuity on the weekly time frame triggered a reversal short. Already hit this target. Got more targets. below this being the major target because it's a pivot low. So that's QBTS. UUBT. This is continuation. 2 down, 2 down. However, it was a simultaneous break. So we haven't hit the last target yet. We did hit a pivot low, but not the pivot low. So from 17, what's the magnitude? 17 to, that's a 23% move in a week. What was, if we get to magnitude, also same, like 28%. And then what's the other one? Alex RGTI. I didn't know this stock, but same thing. I guess it's in the same space. 12% in 3 days. Oh, CCJ and URA also had simultaneous downsides. CC. Oops. CCJ hit 2 weekly targets. What's it looking like on the day? Ooh. Oh, 2 up. Maybe we get a 2 back down for tomorrow. That would be nice. And then URA was weaker. And it hit 2 targets. I actually posted this to Twitter subscribers. This was my setup because it was a domino trade as well. So we had the inside day that triggered on Tuesday. Inside day to trigger the week reversal. And it hit target today. That's a pivot low. So good stuff. Apple was a really nice all-time high exhaustion reversal as well. I posted this on Twitter because it was just very pretty. I did not trade it, but I just made like an educational post. All-time high exhaustion reversal, 2 up, short there, target. 2 up, 2 down, target. Perfect. And this is why we take profit at our targets. That was the low, right? And then what happened? You could play the other way. You got a 5-minute reversal. Trigger 5. So let's say you wanted to play the other way. Also, remember, SPY and QQQ or ES and NQ, whatever, however you're looking at it, we're also at downside exhaustion. So this bottomed at the same time that the, SPY and QQQ did. So if you want to just like hold till the rest of the day or hold till like a major pivot, I mean, you could have got some dollars. What is that? 225. Because you had that target, that target, that target, that target. But you had these 3 close together, so that's why that would be a good target. Oh, it even hit that one. Without a 5 against. So that was even better. So 5 to 1. So study your charts after hours and see what you could have done. Why did it reverse here? Because that was the daily target. Like, pretty simple. So short, 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 cover, flip. Play both ways. Milk the charts. NOK. Is that Nokia? What is that? Yeah, it is Nokia. Oh. Penny stock. Oof. Hold on. Where is this chart? Is this? Ugh. I'm surprised they're still even in business. So inside and up on the year. Two down, two up quarter, which did hit immediate magnitude, and that one. Not that, not that. So did hit that stuff. Two up on the month. I don't think this is exhausted. Inside week, it's not exhausted. You need to let this week close. And if it closes as an inside week, then you can try to short it inside and down. Otherwise, you'd honestly prefer it to the upside. Oh, they have earnings this week. Oh, they have earnings tomorrow. So it's all going to get screwed up anyway. Earnings tomorrow. Yeah. We already covered beyond. But for tomorrow, you should expect there's only one strat setup. Do you know what it is? We have a 2-up. A red 2-up. There's only one possible reversal that could occur tomorrow. Anybody? Anybody? Bueller. Can you get Dante, can you get a little bit more specific? Put the letters in there. Yes. 2 up, 2 down. That's it. Mizzy. So today was a 2-up. So the only possible reversal that could occur tomorrow is a 2-up, 2-down reversal. Meaning that's your trigger, target 1, gap fill target 2, target 3, like that. Two up, two down. From the high of the day to the low of the day was a 66% drop. And I know it got halted. So if you're in that, be careful. I wonder when. I wonder if we can see the halt. And again, I showed you that 760. It was right up there. 760. Let's go to the 1 minute. Was there a 1 minute reversal? Sure was. Look, that was the 760 target from over a year ago. You could have shorted the very top. Nope. I always do that. Let's see. It's always just fun to, you know, see what you could have done. And let's say you wrote it down to that target. I should have my glasses on. You see me leaning in, trying to see. 1 minute reversal, which never came back to your entry, all the way down there. 55%. I do not see that halt, although I know it did. I'm not sure what time. Oh, I think it was right. Right here is one, 11:22 to 11:27, so a 5-minute halt. 28, 29, no. Right here. 29 to 34, another 5-minute halt. Another 5-minute halt on the way down. A 5-minute halt on the way up, right there, that little dash. What else was, I think, um, can anybody else think of a cool chart that happened today? Oh, let's look at, okay, let's do this for tomorrow. We're going to look at Tesla after hours and IBM because they both had earnings and they're both down. Oh, good. It's 7:55. So Tesla, just pay attention, is like right around 423 because we're about to lose this. And IBM is down at about 269. Okay. So IBM closed up here, is trading down here. So it's now an outside week. It's a 3-2-3, which you usually don't see a lot of because we're gapping down. So now the price is down here, which means we are an outside bar to the 2. So anybody who was holding long at close today is screwed because the buyers were strong today. Look at all that volume too. Just fun to note. They ticked it inside down, failed immediately, went outside bar. So anybody who's like, oh, this, oh, this is really strong, I'm going to hold through earnings, they're ruined. So if they held the close, they're going to come in tomorrow down 1850 or 6.5%. So they are likely going to sell their positions to get out and try to like mitigate the loss, which the damage has already been done. But so what you want to do is mark, again, look left, mark your levels. That's a major target because it's a pivot low. Then you can, I use a 1-line thickness for the not major targets. That's a pivot because it's lower than that. You just want to have it ready. Just in case. They could gap down buy. But even if they do, I would personally want them to take out this level first. So if they gap it down, I want them to take out whatever that level is. 267.30 because that's a pivot low. So I want them to stop out anybody who's been long since September 24th. And then I would like to see a reversal if the day is green. If the day is red, they're going to likely puke it through at least here because that's kind of a pivot cluster of targets. To the upside, you have no targets because it's just a gap. So if you gap down by, say on the 30 or whatever, you can just trail on the 30s until it reverses. We just call it still good because you don't have any targets. To the upside, you're in a blank space, like Taylor Swift's song. Okay, Tesla. That's not how you spell Tesla. My nails are long. Sorry. Tesla also is going outside week. How do I know that? By looking at the chart. Well, there's the weekly inside and up, and we're down here. So outside week. I think occurs. I'm trying to blend candles with my eyes to make sure. Or for practice, I guess. 417.86, we can verify. Correct. 417.86. So, Tesla, you want to see it take out last week's lows. And I mean, today kind of gave you a tell. I'm not saying hold through earnings. I don't ever say hold through earnings. But today, what did they do? They went inside and down. They did go inside and down. They hit target 1. They did not hit another target on the daily, but I'm sure there was hourly targets in here. We can go look. Okay, see, I knew at 8 o'clock that little orange line goes away because pre-markets or after hours is closed. So the Tesla dip buyers kind of showed up with the Apple dip buyers, the SPY dip buyers, the QQQ dip buyers. And that's kind of why it reversed. Ooh, beautiful. I already see it. They took out that pivot and that's where they reversed. Right? So like I said, they took out their daily target 1, but they did not take out daily target 2, but I'm sure there was something important on the hourly. And that is probably exactly when, or almost when, the whole market reversed. It is. So we had simultaneous inside 60s and up, right? That's why it's important. You're watching the market. It's why I watch all 4 at the same time. Look at this puking continuing on the Dow, which is great because it hit upside exhaustion. So down there is T1, down there is T2, T3, outside month, maybe. There's still shit. That's not going to be good for my calls. It's okay. It's just a small, I'm not worried about it. It was more so a lotto. And with Tesla and IBM being down, going to be kind of hard for the market to be up. But so yeah, so that's why they reversed there at the downside and then went up with the market when the market went simultaneous 60s and up. That was at 2:30. Actually, Tesla did it 30 minutes before the futures. Anywho, I think that's all I wanted to touch on. IONQ was my pick for the day today. Hi, Maddie. Ooh. Yeah, Alex. Oh, this is the one that we alerted up here. Because you can see this little broadening formation. And then you can see the bigger broadening formation. And did we do it? We did. So on Wednesday, 10:15, this was on my setup list for the inside day and down. We even had a 4-hour. We had an inside 4-hour that triggered the inside day and down to target here, to target here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days. In 4 days, 77.50, 22%. And it's still going. So even if you're in, you can be trailing, you know, to the highs of previous days. So you could lock in 23.5% from your 4-hour trigger. So we took out this little broadening formation and then we expanded down to the bigger broadening formation. It's beautiful. Baby mama. Baby mama. That's funny. Dollar Tree, I will talk about Dollar Tree. Also, Maddie is in our premium Discord and has doubled his account in a very short period of time after he had the light bulb click. So congrats to Maddie. Okay, what am I doing? Dollar Tree. And Maddie's been doing a great job posting, he calls them not sexy tickers, but they're sexy. Dollar Tree. Let's start. Look at that. Okay, we're going to go back in time. That is important because it's a target. Let's go to the week. Pivot. Where was the reversal? So what had happened was, wow, lots of puking, triggered the quarter, took out this major pivot low. But then what happened the following week? Did we confirm the quarter down or did we negate the quarter down? We negated it by getting a 2 down, 2 up reversal with the quarter no longer being enforced, meaning you have no business being short if you're trying to short the quarter, if the quarter is not enforced. That's doing the rules wrong. You're playing wrong. You can only be short if you're below the level to be short. And what happened, was pivot machine gun. Bam, 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 bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very close, very nice, neat, stacked pivots. This is a big one. So you could expect it to get to here. Then you might see some profit taking there. We'll see about that. But that is where I would expect it on a lower time frame. Because again, this area is quite large. So you'd actually, what I would do, what I do, is go into the daily time frame and find daily levels to mark within that range because I want to know targets. 101.44 we hit, so the target was 101.37 and we hit 101.44. And Maddie wants to talk about what happened today. Is full time frame continuity. Basically they opened here, tried to go 2 up, 2 down, ticked down just for a moment, came right back in. So you're already thinking in your head, hey, unable to stay below yesterday's low, starting to reclaim, we're at least going to go outside day. It goes outside day. Then it keeps going. Then it keeps going to this daily target and then that daily target. And let's go to a lower time frame. So we have yesterday's range marked out. Let's look for the reversal. This is what we do. We look for reversals that are going to confirm or negate the initial move. So even if we're wrong, it's like we're not wrong because we just can flip. You know what I mean? So that's also important why you don't go too heavy on your initial entry. But let's go to like the 15 first. Okay, we need to go to the 5-er. 2, 3. Okay. This is when having multiple charts up at the same time is very important. And I'm just going to draw you a little something. These are 15-minute candles. Because 5 times 3, Elaine's probably like, duh. Anyway, actually, I don't even need to do that. The point of the matter is we took out yesterday's lows. And then what immediately followed that? A reversal. So if you shorted right here, if you were trying to take the day down and you shorted right here, or let's say you took the 5-er to trigger, because this is domino, you took the 2 up, 2 down 5-er to trigger the day. So your entry is here. Okay. So you trigger the day. Day triggers, your super tight stop could be break even. Okay, your less tight stop is a reversal against. Okay, so even if you did get short here, you got to get out here. The chart is telling you you're wrong. Okay, so 2-2 reversal. Outside, oh, excuse me. Outside day magnitude is target 1. That happened right there. So even if you were wrong, you would have lost, what, 38 cents? If you flipped and went the other way, you were right by $1.60. And Alex was saying this just the other day. The reversal, or the, not reversal. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. The rejection move is bigger than the initial move. So like we were saying, this failed to go to the downside. So this is a rejection. So the rejection is bigger than the initial, little move here. So you can play, you can just be this person. And this is all to do with broadening formations because it's a major low that we took out. Right there. So we took out a pivot low. Low, high, new low, new high, new low. Expansion. You got to get good at training your eyes to see this stuff. And again, I'll draw this again for people. Your eyes should be drawn to pivot lows and pivot highs. And then you can play connect the dots. How easy is that? But you want to look for the pivot lows that are lower lows, and you want to look for the pivot highs that are higher highs. I could even, count this little guy, right? High, low, new high, new low, new high. You get it. Oh, look at all the love Maddie got. Oklo. Thanks, Frankie. So what Maddie wants to see, well, again, we did hit like pretty decent target, but if it's going to keep going, it's going to go 3-2 continuation up and try and keep climbing up here, and then you're into a gap, then you don't know. So if Maddie is trying to play this tomorrow, he's going to want to see that 3-2 continuation. Oh, the gap's not terribly big either, so that's not so bad. You said Oklo, right? Yeah, Oklo. Great one. Thank you. Yep. And like I said, I like to go to the daily and find other levels. One thickness. Oklo. So Oklo did not have a daily actionable signal to trigger the week. It just triggered the week on Monday and then didn't really do much on Monday. It did trigger the week. It closed back above it. Now, if your stop was up here or even up here, if you're trailing on the candle that you enter on, so because the candle opened up here, trailed up, not trailed up, went down, triggered the week. Once it triggers the week, you don't want to see it come back up here again. Or your stop could be at a continuity level, like there. But if you're targeting, down here, 130.40. Oh, here we go. Um, that's still pretty good RR. Why don't I have my glasses on? This is stupid. They're right here. I need to get LASIK. All right. So let's say you took the week. Let's say you used a continuity stop and you're targeting down there. That's a 4-to-1. And now, since you're all the way down here, now your stops break even. You have no risk, right? Actually, you have negative risk because now you're in profit and you're trailing. You can trail down the days. Or let's say you didn't get in on the weekly trigger. Where do you get in? Don't know. Let's find out. Oh, nope, that would have gapped down. I was going to say you had an inside 4 hour, which could have re-triggered the week, which it did do, but it gapped down below the inside day. So nothing there. Ooh, right there. All right. See, when you start to do this, you'll spot it instantly. So what do you see on this chart that's an actionable signal to the downside with the week in force? Because we're starting on this day. So say you didn't enter on, actually, this was a great entry, a re-entry. So trigger the week, corrective, corrective, corrective. That was actually the beautiful entry. First 2 up, 2 down reversal. Right? So that's where you want to get, technically, you want to get in to see if it can re-trigger the week. Okay. Then, if you don't see that at the end of the day, or you don't want to enter a position at the end of the day, that's fine. You have to wait. Yes, Rolo. Good job. Rolo's also in our Discord. He said 2, 1, 1, 2 down. You see this double inside 60? Once this candle opens and breaks, that's your entry. Boom, now you're in. Down, 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 down. Oop. Down, down. You did hit target. If you wanted to cover on a reversal against, that's fine. You can look to get back in another time. But let's say you took this entry, you had no 60 against until here. That's a 19% move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trading hours. And if you took it from 26% move. 12 in 13 trading hours. 26%. Now, if we are to open on Oklo where we closed, which is right here, what do you have? What do you have? We have corrective activity. So we have a 2 up 60. So there's been corrective activity in the form of a 2 up, which we like. We want to see corrective activity. Then we have an inside bar. So your next signal to short, if we open here, would be to short here. And then your first target is going to be new low of day. And then you hope to see the 60 trail all the way down till you get to your major target. This was a great. Thank you for mentioning Oklo. I did forget that. W. Williams, I can see broadening formations pretty well. My problem is the reversals I take at the top or bottom always get TTO'd. Are you using multiple time frame analysis? And are you waiting for actionable signals? How often do you take profit at target versus waiting for a reversal, aka it's no longer still good? I am guilty of taking all my profit at target. Something I need to work on is a runner. I just get greedy. I just want my money. And I'm like, "Beep, done." Because I feel like I can just let my brain like breathe instead of like having to like still stick around and worry about the chart. But I guess if I'm using the hourly, I only have to worry about it once an hour. Well, that's why I just preach take most of your profit off at target, like 75% off at target. So that way you're not giving back all your gains. And you're letting a runner run. If it runs, if it doesn't run, you're not losing a ton of profit. Does TOS have a 12-hour chart? I don't think they do. I just find discrepancies all the time on TradingView, which is why I use the 12-hour chart. The open indicator is from our Tom. T3. It's this one. TFC dash opens by T3 metrics. Oh, TOS does have 12-hour. Then just use the 12-hour. It's the same as the daily, just with less problems. I wonder if I can. Ugh, nope, YouTube doesn't let you paste pictures. Aaron, how far out do you pick options based on what setup I'm looking for? So hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. Just a good rule of thumb is buy like 2 times your amount of time. So if you're trading like a monthly setup, buy 2 months out. Oh, thanks, Mr. Miss the year I don't know, Uragua. I don't know how to say your name. Yeah, just buy double time. If you're playing a weekly setup, because think about it, if you're playing a weekly setup and you hit target on Friday, are you going to be profitable? Probably not. Almost definitely not. Because you've lost all your value in the time. So if you buy the following week's contracts and it gets there on Friday, you're chilling and you're in profit. So always buy like 2x the time. Netflix was a big puker today. This was a really good. Uh-oh. This was a really good exhaustion reversal up here. So the day before earnings, we had taken out local highs. So that puts you at exhaustion risk. So if you're trading based solely on exhaustion risk, just kind of playing devil's advocate, like, oh, they're, the bulls are excited, we just took out resistance or whatever, that's exhaustion risk. So I tend to always want to go the opposite way, and I would have wanted to buy puts. And you can see your broadening formation here. High, low, new high, new low. And it re-triggered the quarter. What else did it do? This is why you got to look left. Took out that target. I don't think it took that one. Not yet. But it's trying to come for this guy. 1102.93. Major pivot low. Let's look at the quarter. Inside quarter and down. Wait, is this a 3? Yep. 3, 1, 2 down. Ooh, Netflix. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat now. Quarterly targets down there. We have 2 months left of time, as long as we're below blue line. 312. Yep, theta. Okay. I think Elaine fell asleep. Good night. She's been up very early. Man, they work these teachers. She tells me all about it. I'm like, that's not fair. Just pull up charts and draw on them, trying to find broadening formations. It's fun. Sick trader fun. Now we're all crazy. Okay, does anybody have any strat questions? Ooh, don't want to do that. Strat questions or any chart or trade you took and didn't work and you don't know why, or might be kind of hard to explain to me, but we can try. Otherwise, I'm going to get off. Have a day. I need to look at setups for tomorrow. Although lately I hate doing that at night. Actually, let's go look at our scanner. That's the wrong button. So a really easy way for me to look for my setups. Oh, hold on. So I have this list of my tickers, and it's a comma separated list, and it has to be like this. If you want to search anything, if you want to search the Mag 7, it has to be in a comma separated format like this, right? So I have it saved in my notepad, and I simply just right click and hit copy, right click, paste, and then I hit enter. And what you'll see is these are the tickers that are on my list here. So my go-to list, the ones I like to trade, which I probably need to thin out again. Anyway, and then what I can do is I go to quick filter and I can just search inside bars. So show me all the inside bars. So current candle is a 1. So it'll show me all the inside bars for tomorrow's actionable signals. So what I do, we don't have a way yet, as far as I know, to import that. We don't. We're going to work on it though. To have a way to import these tickers into a watch list. So what I do have to do is open list, go to Thursday, add. So this is what I do. So docu, eBay, FedEx, low, Starbucks, UPS, Zoom. So then, whoa. So then what I can also do, I'm so extra, but I make a section, I rename it, I call it inside. Okay, then I bring my scanner back over. I go back to quick filter. I go 2 down green. There are none. Not surprising. I can go 2 up red. There's 4. So Google, KO, KRE, PGT. Section, rename, 2 up red. So this can be my watch list for tomorrow. Now I will go through and look at all of them and kind of pick why I would or wouldn't want them. Ooh, Docu is beautiful. Holy shit. We like Docu. You guys see the broadening formation? Come on. Fuck yeah. You should. Low, high, new high, coming back in. Bam. There you go. Docu for tomorrow. I'm just going to give you guys my watch list. See how easy it was, though, for me to, I didn't have to look through all those. That's why our scanner is the bomb. Inside day, broadening formation, expansion. Do you see the broadening formation? Lower lows, higher highs, expando. So we want this one to the upside. Well, technically, we could take it either way. Because if we go inside and down, up at the highs, that's a negation. The week is in force, so I would prefer it to the upside. Also, it was a lot stronger today than everything else. Everything else went 2 down. This stayed inside in green, so we want it up. Oof. Big gap. Big. I'm going to have to go to the hourly and find levels in there, which I'm not going to do that on stream. You guys can do that yourself. Just look left. FedEx. Potential pivot machine gun negating the weekly 312 up. Now, we're not going to go outside. We only have 2 days left, but could easily get down there. Lows. Inside after triggering the week and staying below the weekly trigger. So this one I would prefer to the downside. Starbucks. This one could go either way. We either confirm the week or we negate the week. Preferably we confirm the week and go inside and up because we got 3 levels. There are levels to this shit. Whoop. UPS hit an important magnitude on yesterday. Inside day today, 3-1. So tomorrow, look for the 3-1-2 down. Zoom hit weekly magnitude. Hit weekly magnitude inside. So weekly magnitude is why we take profit at our targets. Weekly magnitude becomes exhaustion risk. Does it not? It does. Profit taking happens there. Very clearly on this failed 2 up, 2 down reversal. What do you know? Google? I'm not going to touch that one. Maybe. maybe we can get back down there. Because we are failing to stay above last week's. This was a really nice country western. So on this day, we went 2 down, 2 up, hit magnitude. Then the very next day, we went 2 up, 2 down, hit 2 magnitudes. So play it long, get out, reverse, play it short, get out, then wait. But we are up at the all-time highs, which is why this 2 down, 2 up failed, also with market weakness. You don't want to be long stocks when the market is weak. I mean, obviously, that should be obvious. KO, not my jam. Not any magnitude and into a gap. I don't like that kind of stuff. KRE. Don't want anything to do with it. Motherboard problems. 1, 2, 3, 4 days stuck inside that day. Don't care. Target. Has been really strong lately. Did not take out any well, okay, I'm not interested in shorting this one simply because we are trying to go outside month. So this is, again, multiple time frame analysis is important. We failed the lows. We're trying to go take out the highs. So what I would like to see Target do is go 2 down and then 2 up. So I'm not shorting this one. So give yourself context. You need higher time frame context, right? Right. So yeah, so that's the list. Take a picture. I will also take a picture because this is how I post it in my Discord. And then when these things trigger, I alert them. When they hit target, I alert them. If they reverse, I alert. Alex is a much better alerter than me because he's a fast typer and doesn't have long fingernails. Where am I? What am I doing? Tomorrow is Thursday. Watch list. And I don't usually work Thursdays. Alex and I work 4-day weeks. He has Monday off. I have Thursday off, but I still make a watch list. Set your alerts. Sometimes I sleep in, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I work on Thursday, sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends what I have going on. I'm not required to be in the chat room on Thursdays, but if I don't have anything going on, I am. So how cool is our scanner? And I find it a little overwhelming for me with all the stocks that it scans. That's why, and I've been doing, it this way for years. I just trade the stocks that I like. You can sort by volume. You can sort by full time frame continuity. TTD. What is that stock trading at? I haven't looked at that thing in probably years. Pretty sure they had a split a long time ago. Oh, that was the beautiful monthly broadening formation. Wow. I've had this drawn for so long. I can't wait till we take this out. I'm gonna have to go back and find that. I still have an alert set for it. Low 42.96, 43.10. Oh, hopefully next month we go failed 2 up, 2 down. Boom. Yeah, they had a split 10-1 back in 2021. eBay's on our list. Fun. Oh. Oh, it's Six Flags. How cool. This would have been the coolest chart ever if this high had been higher than this high. Just would have been, it would have been like a really, whoa, would have been a really awesome broadening formation. This was a lower high though. But you could draw your broadening formation starting here. Low, high, new high. If you go inside day and down, this might be cool. Or tomorrow. Huh. And then it's pretty spready. And it took out that pivot. Huh. Oof, look at that inside 4 hour and down at upside exhaustion. Ugh, love it. Just look at the charts. They tell such a story. Once you know the strat, you know the why for everything. Now it's a matter of putting it into practice in real time. The why is easy. It's the execution that's hard for most people. But if you stick to facts and stay away from thoughts and feelings, you'll be all right. The criteria to be added to my go-to list, just like pretty popular names. You know, they're pretty all well known in a bunch of different sectors. Good volume, not too spready. Roku lately has been pretty spready. So I'm probably going to remove it because that's too spready for me. But I just like to keep an eye. I don't know. But now that I have the scanner, I don't have to look at everything every day. So I probably will just leave it. Yeah, the scanner takes some getting used to. Trust me, I know. I used to get so frustrated with it. But we've made tutorials and it's easy. And if you want, you just go to our website, which is stratalerts.ai. Everything's in there. There you go. I posted it in the YouTube chat. Yep. And we have the algo. So check that out on your own time. I hope for a big gap up in the morning because remember, I'm long. All right. If you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do and hit the little bell so you get notifications of when I go live sent directly to your phone. Although I do a pretty good job of posting it on Twitter, but if you're not looking at Twitter, you're not going to see it. So if you hit the bell, then you'll get a notification that I'm live or that I've made a video, which I'm back to making videos. Oh yeah, so we're going to see where we open in the morning. Oh, and hit the like button. That all I think helps me and other traders find us. So that's cool too. All right, I'm going to get off here and I will see you guys wherever I see you next. Thanks, Rolo. Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, Frankie, for everybody being here. Happy trading. Hi, Ryan. And we'll see you guys around. All right, peace out.